Charles, I wanted to ask you about. I've asked you this before, but when you see Sillinger and Chinikov on a line together, how different is the prospect of playing them on the road versus playing them at home when you can sort of control who's out a little bit better, who's out against which opponents?
Well, it's really game by game and how they're showing me. Like they're still young in their career. It's about trust, and I feel like they're both coming. Like they're building that trust, and that they're going to do the right things. And mistakes are going to happen, but as long as we see the effort, as long as we see them trying to plug into the system, then you give them that opportunity, even on the road, taking those face-offs that maybe sometimes you're going to flip, but then there might be other games you're going to have to. So it's really game by game.
Did they show you enough in the last game to make you think that you could take them on the road and play them as a group?
We're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there. I think, again, there's still situational play and time and score, and there's all these other factors going in. But yeah, every game, the more you continue to do the right things, the more you start building trust, and you want to see if they can basically withstand it and do it.
Yeah. And people usually concern themselves with the center. Are you more concerned about one of those guys than the other, or is the two of them in the same boat as far as you're concerned?
No, I think they're both young guys, and you want to see it. Heck, our older guys are going to make mistakes too. It's not, but I've known those other guys, and they've got a little bit more in the bank account, I guess you'd say, right, as far as time on ice, and I've seen more. So, yeah, the center position is obviously a position where there's more responsibility. There's no question. We want our centers taking control before face-offs, responsibilities in our zone, all those different areas. So, but between the two of them, I want to see them do the right things as much as possible.
And how much do you have to prepare a team to play in Madison Square Garden? Is it a uniquely different place? Are there things different about that place than others? Or is it just the aura that's built up about it?
Yeah, well, it's a blast to play there, first of all. I mean, I remember playing that. There and Montreal were two of my favorite places. It's just, there's a feel about Madison Square Gardens that it's special. It's been around for a long time, and you think of all the tremendous events that have gone in there, and the energy from the crowd. And now you got fans back in, so it's even more. I think it's a riot. I don't think it's anything to be scared about. I think it's anything it should be energizing, and it should be fuel for you. So, I mean, I think our older guys will talk to them, but I think the young guys will love it.
Yeah.
Elvis was talking the other night about it's kind of fun to come to the rink right now just because there's good chemistry among everybody. And I know it's early, and you go through some ups and downs and stuff, but I'm sure you've been on teams that just like each other. Does that make it kind of easier to kind of get through the day-to-day grind and maybe even have some impact on the ice as well when you get on a team like that feels like it's pretty close?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to ask them, and we watch it from the outside, but we've won 4 of 6, which helps. Obviously, winning always helps that circumstance, but you can tell they've gone through camp together, they've gone through a grind together. There seems to be some real genuine that they like each other, and that's not in all cases for sure, as we know in some teams. But early going here, I think there's a real healthy chemistry developing between these guys.
Was it good to see Texier, even though it's an empty netter? You talk about guys get confidence when they score, no matter how they score. He'd been kind of snake bit previously, even hits that post. Like, is that the kind of thing that can maybe help a guy get the wheels going a little bit? Yeah,
I think with Tex, he wasn't generating a lot either. So, for him putting on that line, I think it fits into his game a little bit. We talked again today. I think it just freed him up a bit, and he looked better last game. Like I liked a lot of our players. There wasn't many that I was disappointed in at all. I thought it was a good team effort, and he was one of those guys where I thought the chemistry at the line looked good, where he just kind of went out and played and was a little bit more plugged in. And he's been doing some really good things, even though he hasn't been scoring. His penalty killing's been really sharp. His tenacity on the puck there. I still want him ultra competitive every game, 5-on-5 as much as possible, and then we'll see where the offense goes, But sometimes you squeeze and you're trying to get the offense, and you forget about all the other things that you need to do to get there, So that, I think, just sticking to his foundation, what it is, and that's usually his high competitiveness, his work ethic, and then let his skill take over from there.
There was an abrasiveness to him when he first got here. Where is that? Did that go with his confidence, or?
Yeah, sometimes you stand around, right? Instead of attacking the game, you're. I've always said it. A thinking player is a slow player. So if you overthink things, you're usually standing around watching it. So you're like a turnstile, People are going by you. He's at his best when he's assertive and he's on his toes. And yes, like that's what impressed me right away is his aggressiveness, is that tenacity at the puck, that competitiveness. Didn't matter who it was, and we saw it in the Tampa series where, you know, I wouldn't say going after Kucherov, but it didn't matter who it was. He cross-checked him 4 times in front of the bench, and he's just playing. That's how he is. And so we've talked about that. I think that's just part of his DNA, and that's that emotional engagement we've been talking about. Get him plugged in there, and I think that helps his game.
I was wondering, I hope this doesn't come out wrong, but if you play that abrasive style and then it starts to come back to you and it gets a little intimidating coming back to you, is there any part of that? Like, I don't want to start fires that I don't want to be involved in, or is...
No, I don't see that with him. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Some guys are like, well, maybe I should back off.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of the former, what you were talking about. I think with a lack of confidence, with overthinking things, he gets passive, and that's not when he's good at all. I think, you know, just kind of push him in those areas of staying on your toes, be assertive, make mistakes, checking forward. That's what I want to see him doing. And mistakes by aggression I can live with as long as they're within our structure. And that's when he's emotionally engaged and he plays better, period.
Do you know yet about Domi tomorrow night?
Not yet. No, we're going to try them out here today, and I'll get the update here from Voter, and we'll go from there.